for the Jewish leaders, when a teacher is going to teach the students something that is very important, the teacher will sit. They don't stand. So what we are going to look at, it was a very important lesson that Jesus taught the disciples. And usually I was thinking about it, reflecting in our Ghana context. It means that what I'm coming to tell you is deep. It's an important thing. So if you stand, maybe you'll be distracted by tiredness or something. So sit and then I teach you. So we are going to look at what Jesus actually taught them. What Jesus actually taught them. What he taught has become known as the Beatitudes. Now the Beatitudes are part of a larger sermon that is recorded in the Bible. It starts from Matthew chapter 5 and runs all the way to chapter 7. So it's a long sermon. And the Beatitudes that we have just read are just a small portion of the sermon. So just take note that there's a sermon we are going to look at. And it's a long sermon. So this is just a part of it. And the part will connect to the other places of the sermon. The sermon is popularly known as the Sermon on the Mount. The Sermon on the Mount, because Jesus taught them on the mountain. There's a similar sermon in Luke's gospel. But Luke tells us that that sermon was preached in the plain, not on the mountain. So, and there are a lot of scholars. Maybe when we get there, we will explain what the differences are. But today I want us to focus on what Jesus taught in Matthew chapter 5, verse 2 downwards. So the first thing Jesus mentioned is that blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And many people think that because poor has been mentioned here, it means that if you are poor and you don't have money, and you are living in wretchedness, and you are struggling to pay your school fees, then yours is the kingdom of heaven. Please know. Jesus says that blessed are the poor in what? In spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Those who are poor in spirit are those who recognize that they have nothing of their own to save them. They have nothing of their own to bring them spiritually to God. They acknowledge that they are bankrupt. If salvation was for sale, they had nothing to do to buy it. Whether physically or spiritually putting themselves together to be able to afford salvation. So for those people, they look on to God alone to be the provider and the supplier of whatever it is that will bring them to the kingdom of heaven. So the poor in spirit are those who acknowledge that indeed we have nothing in ourselves to bring us to God. Nothing. We acknowledge. And that it will take only God to call us and prepare us for the kingdom. So it has got nothing to do with material possessions or material wealth. It is a matter of what you think in your spirit of you coming to be reconciled to God. So this morning, as we are here, you must be able to make an assessment of what your thoughts are concerning salvation. Do you see it as something that on your own, with your own provisions, you can grasp? Or you acknowledge that if even they say you should bring one spiritual currency, you don't have it. It is purely by God's grace and faith in our Lord Jesus that you have access to this kingdom of heaven we are talking about. So, and you see, pride is one of the reasons why people are not born again yet. They feel they are too big. Like, they don't need any God. They don't need any God. Like, this thing we are talking about, that they need God to come and save them. No, they are above God. Even for them, they are above God. And it is that pride that will eventually deny them entrance to the kingdom of heaven.